So welcome back, Wargamers. This is after the first game of the GT, and so I was playing against a Feral, Urukai, Orc, and Shade army, so yeah, pretty brutal, and it was capturing control, and so pretty much you have to capture different objectives, and so he swung in, he was taking casualties, I was taking casualties, I continued to take a few more throughout the game. I failed to transfix Vrasku by Sandane in any way. Orc struck. We both struck up to strength, fight 10. Then he got 4 highest, I got 6. He spent his 2 might and 1 roll off. So Dane was beaten back. His pig took a wound. And next turn, I charge in. But, next turn I charge in and do end up killing him. But it cost me all my might because the Shade got in range by then. And so Dane, pretty much, he survived for a lot longer than he should have with a Shade being in range and all the Orcs and Urukai that were on him. But yeah, in the main flank, I pretty much was dying, but I was killing. Pretty much, though, the center objective, I snuck one Dwarf onto the center objective, which was on a rock. And he tried to send an Orc up, but he didn't quite get to the objective, so he then charged the Dwarf, then the Shade charged the Dwarf at the end by the final turn. And I held the back objective, kept a Warg Rider off it with a Goat Rider, and charged a Goat Rider onto the other objective, but then Saruman in the last turn of the game counter and hit that goat. The Orc that was by the objective hit that goat, and then a Shade and an Orc both charged the guy in the center. So essentially, if I lost both of those combats, I would lose by a major loss. If I won both of those, I would get a minor loss, and I ended up doing that. Radagast remained unwounded. I was broken, so he had 2 objectives. One was neutralized because when I forced Saruman and the Orc to back up, they were still on the objective, so it was neutralized. So he had 2, I had 2, but then he had broken me, so he won 5-4. If Saruman hadn't gone over there and the Dwarf had run in and killed the Orc, I would have won by I would have won 6-5. So it was very easily. Came down to the last little bit of the game, who won and who didn't. And yeah, so I'm pretty happy with a minor loss, because that was one of my weaker scenarios. And now, obviously, I, in theory, should be playing weaker players, except some of the top players seem to have lost their first round as well, so that's a bit concerning that I may end up playing some of the top players after I lost a game. But yeah, Lords of Battle is one of the stronger scenarios for my dwarves, so I hope that will go well, but we will see. And yeah, the painting competition is going on right now for the Lord of the Rings. And crazy to get my models in for the Capital Palette. They had times 10 to 12, which is the first game of SPG, and then the time of 2 to 4, second game of SPG. So it was actually good that we finished the game early, so I was able in those last 15 minutes to like run up and start the process of writing in all my models, documenting them. Probably took over till 12 o'clock, but if you get in time, they're not going to shut you out, fortunately. So yeah, that is what I did, and I'm looking forward to the second game. And yeah, definitely stoked about seeing how the painting competition will come out. And yeah, I will come back after. So welcome back. So after game 2, unfortunately I once again got a minor loss. At least it wasn't a major loss, but Radagast essentially got positioned where he was trying to dismount Faramir, because I was playing against Gondor Horde, and I'm like, I can do this, it's Gondor Horde, right? So essentially, Faramir had his knights, and I'm like, okay. I drained Faramir's wheel one turn, but then he was able to charge me. He won the heroic move off, and charged me, and then I couldn't get away. I called a channel to knock down all the knights eventually, and it still didn't work because someone was in just the right position to call a heroic move and stop that, and I'm just like, ugh. Because it's always that one little thing that goes wrong, and then Radagast eventually died. He ended up managing to break me by a couple models, so he won 5 to my 3 because I still had more wounding things than him, so that's how it turned out. Won a lot of die rolls where it didn't matter, like overly much. Eventually it mattered for breaking, but then it kind of doesn't work out. So yeah, disappointing, especially since Lords of Battle is supposed to be one of my strong scenarios. So going into Reconnoiter, not one of my strong scenarios, so we'll just see what happens there. And yeah, come back after that game. So welcome back, Wargamers. So in the continually ironic way that things seem to work, I lost, as I said, I got a minor win, or minor loss, sorry, in Lords of Battle, which is a scenario I'm supposedly strong at. And then I went to my worst scenario, Reconnoiter, and I got a major victory. Yeah, that's pretty ironic. So now I'm sitting at 6 tournament points and 14 victory points, which pretty much means that I'm doing about average, because that'd be if I did 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss, and full losses and wins. I'd have 6 tournament points as well, and probably about 14 victory points, so I'd say I'm doing about even. Similar with doubles, we got 7 tournament points at doubles after our 3 games, and 14 victory points, so seems to have a bit of a trend that I end up about on this level. So yeah, I am quite happy with that. So pretty much what happened is he had 36 elves in Reconnoiter, and I have like 26 dwarves. So really, he could have choked up my dwarves while sending entire warband off, and I'm like, okay, if I have any shot at this, at first I was going to be like, I'm going to deploy, I'm just going to try and break him and kill his general, get 5 victory points. He runs enough people off, I get a minor loss. That's better than a major loss. But then I actually went out, I spread out my forces, which you usually don't do with dwarves. Like, very thinly in small increments. Like, this is not usual dwarven tactics. Dane had a strong force that was headed towards Legolas and his archers. So as the elves were coming forward, I had Gloin attack one section, and he fluffed his rolls twice, but then this Goat Rider, and Goat Riders never performed for me, was killing, I think he ended up killing 6 to 8 models, one of them being a banner bearer. Actually, I think he might have killed 2 banner bearers by the end of the game, and it was like 10 models, and I'm like, this Goat Rider is doing it, but goats usually don't. They usually just die, grab objectives, or help heroes. And this goat was actually by himself killing elves who have higher fight. So it was pretty crazy what he did. And yeah, so pretty much he kept going forward. He had a big bulge in the middle. I was coming on either side. I had only like 2 dwarves standing in the way, but I was able to get those dwarves long enough, move more around from the side to slow him down. And I got to the point where he was almost 25%, and I'm like, I want to run these dwarves that I've sent off. So, essentially what I had to do then was, Dane was fighting Legolas. He had charged his warband, cut through his warband. He was now fighting with Legolas, trying to get the general kill. And so eventually I got 1 dwarf off in the last turn, but he had 1 priority. And Gloin had 1 might to use a heroic move, and I'm like, once I no longer have a heroic move as a safety net, I need to be killing him, and I need to end the game now. So instead of try for all the marbles, getting 12 victory points, I decided to make sure I got a major win, getting 6-0, which I am quite happy with. And yeah, so Dane didn't kill Legolas. I broke him, and obviously if I'm getting him 25% without being broken, though, and got 1 dwarf off in the last turn. So it was a great game, and I am incredibly happy with the fact that I won Reconnoiter. I mean, lose Lords of Battle, win Reconnoiter with Iron Hills, or Erebor Reclaimed, and Radagast Alliance. So, a little bit crazy. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Could be crazy, like, is everything going to switch, or my good scenario going to be my loss and win other way, or is it going to be normal? I don't know. Could lose both, could win both. I don't know. I'm quite interested to see what will happen tomorrow, but currently the single miniature competition is going on, and yeah, I entered my mounted Danes. So yeah, I will come back tomorrow to let you know how Game 4 went. See you then.